Yo, what's up everybody, back with another one. Today's video I'm going to cover the importance of studying the market, how to research the market in terms of TikTok, how to find winning creatives, as well as just giving you guys a baseline of what I'm doing to make sure that we're producing the right content for our clients and not reinventing the wheel here. So before I get started here, if you're wanting to pivot to TikTok, let's say you run a brand, let's say you were advertising on Facebook or whatever platform before, you're struggling to get results, you need UGC, you need a ton of stuff in place for you to scale. Well, I provide a complete done for you offer with TikTok by sourcing the creatives with my network of influencers and also managing the ad side of things. So if you're ready to pivot, want to scale things up, book in a call with me and I'll walk you through our process. So with that being said, right, I'm in my muscle shirt, just flexing on the industry, flexing on all of you guys. I've seen a couple people try to copy my content, which means I'm coming for you guys. Just nobody's talking, putting out this much output in terms of TikTok. So with that being said, the reason why I shoot videos as well is just because people can't copy my persona, people can't copy my personality, and people, frankly, just love to hear somebody talking through a camera than just writing a ton of content and not being the face behind the content. So with that being said, right, shooting the right creatives can be difficult to get sales if you don't know how to properly research the market. So in this post I recently I'll put this out as a PDF. I'll show you the research methods I'm using currently with you guys, so then you can implement this right away for your own business. So if you guys are familiar with the Facebook ads library, the TikTok Creative Center is something very similar, where you can go research the market, see okay, what type of content is working well in my industry, and then how can I replicate those results. So simply you go right here, top ads. So in the post I cover, there's two important categories. You have industry and campaign objective. So what the industry is simply the niches that you're trying to find products for. Like for this one they have pets. You can go to pets and just select all, and then you can go to campaign objective is something I also covered in this post, where different types of offers. You have lead gen, you can see what lead gen offers are performing well on the ad side of things. You can look at conversions, which is a great mechanism, and then you have this window right here where you can look at a 30-day window and a 7-day window. So content on a 30-day window, if they're still running, that means ideally they're getting results, right? Because people who have ads that are running and going a long way typically don't turn them off, especially over a 30-day period, if they're getting results. So that's just some concept for you guys. You can click on the specific creative right here, and then there's a couple things you can dissect. So you have the amount of likes, you can have the amount of comments, and you have the amount of shares. So in this post right here, I specifically cover the different metrics, right, and what we look for when we're trying to research a creative to see, okay, what is working well and how are we able to replicate those results. So the biggest difference between a good performing ad and a great performing ad is the storyline. Ideally, clips are between 20 to 30 seconds, just because people's attention span isn't very large. People keep scrolling. They don't want to watch content. They especially don't want to watch ads that doesn't have any effect to what they're doing. So one thing that we look for is the details in terms of the specific creative. When we look at creatives, you can see that posts or ads that are getting above 1K likes versus those that are getting around 10 to 100 likes, there's generally some key points that you can really, if you've been doing this for a while, you can pick it out. And this is what it takes in terms of what to look for creative wise. So generally, as mentioned, clips 20-30 seconds, and an ad that is really great, gets great results, and is just killing it, has a storyline. As mentioned, it follows an intro, then it follows some sort of hook, or we're keeping the person's attention who's watching the clip to then want to bridge the gap, where we show the product in action and keep them engaged through the hook to where they want to learn more about the specific product and how it helps. And then at the end of that storyline, right, we have a call to action where we're creating some sort of scarcity or urgency to get people to go click on the specific website and make a purchase right away, right off of impulse. So that's a breakdown of the storyline. I've covered this in the last video as well. If you didn't watch it, go rewatch that. And then this is just a great touch point in terms of what's happening in the industry and how you can replicate these results. So when you go to the Creative Center right here, this ad is really killing it. If you look at the duration, I mean, 17 seconds. So ideally between that 20-30 second mark, and then let's see what happens.
You're telling me that you're still using this type
So the first 3 seconds, it has an intro, right? It talks about the specific problem in the market. She's calling out what common people in the market are using, right? That dog collar. She's like, are you still using this collar? So she's calling out a specific demographic in the market. And that was in the first 3 seconds.
No. I've been needing a more heavy-duty collar, and when I saw this TikTok about these oversized...
When I saw this TikTok, right, she did the intro. She has a hook. She's hooking people in. Well, when I saw it was on TikTok, right, it just made me want to buy it. And now she's about to bridge the gap.
collars by Tactipop.
She just listed out the brand's name and ultimately some details about the specific collar.
I knew I had to try it. Look how nice this is. These are actually hand sewn. I love it, and just look how cool.
So in the 10 to 13 second mark, right, she's talking about the features, benefits of the specific collar.
Cool it makes my dog look. Like, he's too cool for me. You're telling...
Only thing it's missing is a call to action, but that isn't a problem because they cover the basis of the main story point of intro, hook, bridging the gap, showing the features and benefits of the product, and then with an impulse to get people to want to buy. So a creative like this is something that we want to replicate. Let's say if we're in the dog space, well, one thing we can do is talk about a common problem in the market that people tend to use, right? Let's say, are you still walking your dog with this collar? Don't you know you're hurting them or choking them? We can play on that. And then we can center the product as the solution basis to it, and it just builds out better authority on our end because we have a superior product. So when I go back to this post, right, that's what we look for in terms of winning creators, right? This is what separates the good from the best creatives that are getting sales and is killing out on the market. And then in terms of metrics, right? So not all metrics tell you the truth, but for the most part on TikTok, if a creative is struggling to get views or likes on a specific ad, then it's really not connecting with the audience. So while getting 1,000 likes and going viral isn't the specific goal here, the goal here is to get purchases, right? But likes, comments, shares have some sort of baseline and have some sort of factor into it. So I just want to break down each specific point. So likes simply don't portray the story, but comments, shares are the metrics I like to use feedback on to see how well a creative is performing. So a creative that has a ton of shares, right, mainly represents that a lot of consumers are interested in the product and they want to purchase it for either themselves or other people when they choose to share the ad. When you see the number of comments under a specific post, anything over 40, 50 shows the audience has a ton of engagement and connects well with the product. And then ultimately likes. Likes just varies, just doesn't really matter in terms of, it doesn't have any effect to the amount of people that purchase. But if you see a post that has, like this one, between that 40, 50 amount of comments, right, that shows a decent following that people are engaged, especially for an ad, because not a lot of people like getting blown up with ads. So when people are taking the time out of their day to comment on the specific post, and let's say the comments are like, oh, I need this, I want this, super, super interesting, right? It just means the creative is connecting with the audience, and it's getting people to stop scrolling and write down their thoughts and opinions about this specific ad, which is always a plus. Shares are very important. When somebody is sharing your specific creative, you're getting more eyes, you're getting more attention, and that just means people, if they're not buying it themselves, they're sending it to somebody to purchase. Like, let's say if somebody, if it's a teenager, they have a dog, and they don't specifically want to purchase themselves, they send the ad to their mom. The mom's like, oh wow, I love this, let me buy it for our dog, right? So shares are very important, comments are very important, likes don't really matter, it just really shows you the amount of engagement a specific post is getting. And then clips, 20, 30 second mark, this is going to be your sweet spot, because we don't want to have an ad creative that's over a minute just because the attention span isn't there. So we want to start off first 3 seconds, right? Have that intro, have that strong introduction in terms of what we're about to show the consumer. Having the hook in place to gain their attention and want them to stay longer, and then just bridging the gap with the product through features, benefits, and then just having a strong call to action at the end of the creative to then get people to purchase. So that was just a tidbit on how to do market research. Literally, you can just go in the Creative Center, go into industry, look at the different niches, go to conversions, and then you can see all the top producing ad creatives in your space so that you can replicate. The biggest thing here is you don't want to recreate the wheel, just because if this is already working for somebody else, you can replicate the same framework, just put in your own details about your brand, replicate and add your own unique style to it, and add your own unique spin, and then this is what's going to get you sales instead of just starting from ground zero. So with that being said, if you're interested in terms of wanting to replicate this results for your brand, you want a done for you service, you need help sourcing the creatives, you need help with somebody managing the campaigns for you, let's hop on a call and I can walk you through our process. Thank you. Bye bye.